Now you see, this video is just too good. And I'm actually not just overhyping. As a matter of fact, if I don't show you these things, I'm probably not a nice person. During the course of this video, I'll be showing you some effects that you can actually replicate on your own shoots, on your own, with like legit zero budget. It might take you a while, but something you can accomplish. And at the later part of the video, I'll show you some things in DaVinci Resolve, including things like the color grading and how the lighting worked in total. So let's see. My name is John and I'm into video production, and let's go straight into the video. Game start. Okay, I know you want to hear. Let's go back to the beginning. So if you look at this beginning shot here, you can see how they slowly pan, and then it's giving this kind of stuff where that you do in movies where you have the subject and then you do like a slow review to bring like anticipation and stuff. And then there's something they did that actually reminds me of like this whole Batman stuff where you have like this backlighting that just suddenly pops on your face. But the only difference here is that it's kind of soft because this is not a horror movie. This is art. Still art, but then you get the point. So you see, soft review. What I'm actually suspecting is that the backdrop itself is lit separately from obviously it's lit separately from the audience. But for what I'm telling, I feel maybe they have like some lights facing up to bounce off the walls or the whole like studio, and then they have like maybe where the light is looking, I'm suspecting maybe light from the side, not necessarily overhead. I might be wrong, but let's see. Okay, something else I want us to notice. I'm really sorry for cutting so fast. But then, if you look at the camera movement here, I know it's something that can be done handheld. That's why I'm actually pointing it out. This whole dolly in and dolly out. You could as well do it with a gimbal. You can do it handheld, whichever way, what you can afford. But I'm suspecting they probably use like a robotic arm to make sure it's consistent because they probably did a couple of takes. So yeah. Aha, you see that again? The exact same thing, just like the last one. A dolly and then kissy face. Ooh, okay, see these nice details they're giving here with the each hi-hat hit is like its own lightning bolt. And if you look at the lightning bolt here, it's like pulsing. Like the membrane, you know how like on drums, the membrane is like pumping as air is hitting on it. So like nice effect. Some VHS, let's go. Ooh, I like that. Like left, right. Kiss your lips for real. Red hearts, that's what I'm on, yeah. Come give me something I can feel. Don't you want me like I want you, baby? Don't you? See, that's exactly what I was saying. That it's probably a robotic arm because I don't know which human on set is this tall. Don't you want me like I want you, baby? And then also, there's something that most people actually make mistakes of doing, which is the light coming from the angle where the camera is. If the light comes from there, you probably have shadows casting the other direction. So, and then these shadows are actually telling us where the light is coming from. So the light is coming from this direction, from around here. The light's coming from here this way. So that's good. Baby, don't you need me like I need you. Another VHS shot. Ooh, that's either a very good match cut or it's the same camera, which I'm actually suspecting for the VHS. I'm suspecting that it's like the same camera, just change of effects. But let's have a glance. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Look at our head structure here. Look at the way our head is posed. Now look at him. Look at his hand. And then when you cut, you can see that our hand is different. Look at the placement of our hand. So that means this is not even two cameras. Like this is not. It's probably two cameras, maybe a VHS camera and a normal camera. But then it's most likely another take. No, it's not most likely. It is another take. So that's something you can actually note that. There's no issue having to buy so many cameras on set. I feel this common sense, but if you need to hear this, yeah, something you should actually take. Feel free to do multiple takes. And that's kudos to the choreography too. That was really dope. Oh my god, did you see this? See. Aha. Yeah.
Ooh, okay, that's a nice dolly. They've actually been doing a lot of dollies in this stuff. And dollies, for those of us that don't know, is the whole movement of the camera in one direction. So I don't know if this is like a dolly zoom or was done in post or on set. See? Zoom in. Bruno baby. Something I try to note here is that they're giving like a stop motion vibe, basically like how and I feel the way they are doing this is obvious. I think everybody should know by now. This video is actually sped up, so that means on set they slowed it down. It's like but probably not that slow, maybe like 1.8 or something like that, and then they're like it actually gives them the opportunity to do more motion within a short period of time. That's why everything is like so hyper. And then you now have all these like motion graphics on set, the hi-hats, another dolly there. Aww, that's actually some dope stuff there. That's really dope. That's really dope, man. Loki, I know this is something you could actually do in After Effects because I've seen some people do it on After Effects. If you want me to do a tutorial on that, I could teach you how to do it on DaVinci Resolve or even After Effects if that's what you want. So, but yeah, they probably paid somebody separately to do this, which is normal on productions. And by separately, I mean like all the animations entirely, not just the arrow shot, obviously. I mean all the stock animations, all the graphics and all that stuff. Oh my god. Got my eye. I'll do like that for me. Ooh, again. Now you see this. See, at this point, I can't even tell. So what I'm suspecting on this particular set here, apart from the whole lighting, like I said, because now they're apparently silhouetted here. I don't even know that's a word. But then look at all this APT, all these letters, they are all tracked on one position. As you can see, they are all tracked. The only thing I can't tell is what they are being tracked on, because this is a very, very smooth background. So it's probably maybe they put like tracking dots on set or something like that, or was hand placed or keyframed. If it was, else whatever tracking method they use is very good, because you can see there's depth in it. Another thing I was talking about, the whole format thing. So here too, they probably just masked this out and then did like they gave it out to somebody, contracted it out to someone that actually did a very good job. This is very, very nice work. I think I did one of the videos I did in January. I did something like this, but it wasn't exactly like this though. But it was about mixing up on mediums and stuff. Something about the shoe, that blue shoe stuff. I don't know if you guys saw it. Exactly. You see, this is, I don't know. If I was to actually do this on a budget, I'll say the first step is to rotoscope this shot, because clearly to cut out the head smoothly and consistently, you don't want to hand track this. So you're probably going to use your rotoscope in After Effects, or if you're on DaVinci Resolve, you want to use your magic mask, either in your Fusion or in your color page. So okay, now let's actually hop into the color page. I want to show you some things about lighting that I noticed. So let's try and actually look at what the color looks like and the whole total exposure of the shot. So actually, from what I can tell here, okay, this is actually a very good shot here. Let's look at where their skin tones lie. For instance, her skin is lying on the skin tone line, as you can see here. Just look at that. It's actually lying fairly on the skin tone line, but it's still leaning towards pink. That's like this pink quadrant at the top here. And because obviously it's like a monochromatic look in total, leaning towards pink. And then Bruno Mars' skin, because he is more of like a darker person, is more into the pink zone, as you can see, compared to her. She's catching most of the highlights, leaning towards white, because the white is fairly white. It's not in the center though, but it's fairly white, while the darker parts are leaning towards pink. You get the whole spectrum thing. And when you look at the balance of the images, their skin is falling within this range here, which is actually a very good spot. If I was to grade this personally, I'll probably step it down just a tiny bit. I don't know why. I probably just step it down just a bit. And you can see it's still fairly good. See, I don't know, but I don't. They know what they did, so I like to keep my skin tone around like 256, but then they kept theirs around like 512, 384. So if you move down the line, even down to like here, let's look for another shot. Okay, let's look for this shot precisely. This one. See, her skin tone is still around there, and then Bruno Mars's skin tone is leaning towards this down region, as you can see. She's moving towards this down region, so makes sense. You see what I'm saying? Everything is just leaning towards this quadrant, and this is just trying to tell you that you can be artistic with your set design. This video could rather be very, very boring, but then there's some little things they added that are actually giving it the vibe. So things like the whole sped up movement that they are doing, things like the color that they chose, and even the motion graphics. The motion graphics is like something that's actually really popping this up. And the zooms either in camera or in post, they're actually adding a lot of production value. Let's skip towards the ending. Let's see what we have here. Okay, now this one is probably handheld, unless let's see. They're probably handheld. Oh my god. Okay, I'm going to be like, I'm surprised, but like, yeah. So you can see the lighting, just as I said, there's actually light from above. I actually did not expect it to be here. I knew there was like a covering to like separate them from spill from the background. But then I didn't know that there were a bunch of lights pointing up. But it makes sense now. Now that I'm seeing this, it actually makes sense. Because if you let's look at a shot like this one precisely. My bad. If you look at the shot like this, you can see how, compared to the rest of the scene, this place is much more overexposed, quote unquote, because this is closer to white than the background. The background is having less light hitting it. It's like a spread light, while this is much more concentrated. It's probably soft, but still much more focused to give them this illumination. And you can see there are multiple lights hitting him. You have one coming from this angle here, coming from here, and another one coming from here. That's why you have this shadow, and even one come from the back. Actually, it's 4. Because it's giving like this like stadium version where you have like 4 different lights hitting the players. Yo, this is actually a very dope video, and I hope you really enjoyed it, and I hope you've learned 1 or 2 things. As a matter of fact, you might as well check this video where I made a video myself, shooting a video on $0. Like, my budget was actual 0. So tell me what you think about that one, and make sure you drop a comment here. See you in the next one.